very much for the introduction. How is my audio? Hopefully a little bit better than we were first testing.
You're sounding pretty good to me, better than before. Boy, these weeks sure fly by, huh?
Everything flies by, as you know. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for participating in our December 11, 2019 Q&A webinar. You've heard this from me before. Brad, what am I about to say?
Is this the best one yet?
This is by far, I'm adding this. This is going to be by far, and when I mean by far, I don't know if I'll ever be able to say this again until the next time. The best Q&A webinar you are ever going to hear from us, because we're going to blow you away. We're going to demonstrate something you ain't never seen before. And for those of you who are not Trade Ideas subscribers, I want you to be careful with your wrists. You're going to want to grab your wallet, grab your credit cards, and if you move too quickly, there could be like some sprains. And Brad, we don't like that kind of thing, right? We don't want people to hurt themselves as they're reaching and grabbing and panicking to subscribe. So we're just warning you ahead of time. What I'm going to show you guys is some stuff that's going to blow your mind. We're going to differentiate ourselves from every single vendor in fintech.
Well, I was
You're
going
going
to
to cancel every subscription
It's not easy to come up with new functionality for each and every webinar like we do. I mean, we're always really pulling out some great features and functions here for you guys.
Are you prepared to cancel everything? Because you ain't going to need anything else after this webinar. I mean, this is how excited I am. Listen, Brad, I can't take it anymore, and I don't want to waste people's time. Let's jump into the action. And before we do, quick disclaimer that all the information that you're seeing here, while amazing and extremely valuable, quote unquote, is not registered investment advice. So nothing you hear from myself, Brad, Scott, Barry, anybody else at Trade Ideas should be construed as formal investment advice. If you need that, some people need that formal investment advice, please consult a registered investment advisor. Brad, my good friend, are you ready?
I'm strapped in. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go
now,
for a ride.
And I'm talking to Barry and Scott too. Scott, make sure you're not accidentally. This is going to be so good. Scott could accidentally subscribe. So I want to make sure all our guys and Barry too. All right, here we go. So before we jump to the reveal, and this is what we did. Today's a reveal of some stuff you ain't never seen before. But before we do that, let's start with the preamble. What we do better than anybody else is show you things that make you money. Now, are we perfect? No, nobody's perfect. But I'm going to give you an example of how we do it, what does it, and this is all before we jump to the big one. So, Brad, what does this slide say?
There's a present. There's a gift for yourself, and I imagine that gift for yourself is a subscription to Trade Ideas.
But do you see PTI?
PTI, a gift to yourself. I see it up at the top.
Now, there you go, Brad. Come on. You're my assistant sidekick pal. I need some help. Look, people. I don't really know how else to explain this, but 400% in a month on volumes of like potentially 20 million shares. So in other words, like rich guys could be killing it off of this. Yeah, you trade 1 million shares here, 500,000. But look at what we are doing. Now look, the world is littered with gurus and vector vests and other vests that you put on yourselves and all sorts of vendors who are vying for your attention. It's littered with them. But we separate ourselves because we're the only ones in the whole world of finance that has a technology that gives you signals that you could look at and go, dang, look at that one. And by the way, hey, Brad, what happens if you miss this one the first time?
Well, this was like a multi-hammer approach here, right? I mean, the first one at about $1, I don't know the exact price, but you know, a few weeks later, a couple weeks later, it gave you another one at like $1.75, and then again at what, $2.50 or something like that. It's just, and right now it's at $4. So really just kind of letting you know that there's stuff happening in this stock. And you can see by the volume, there's really, they're footprints that are happening when these moves occur, and they linger a little bit.
So what you're seeing here is our artificial intelligence at work. What is our artificial intelligence? Without going too clear, there's many people here, Brad, who have never been seen trade ideas, never heard about us, nothing, so they're new. So it's our job to kind of give you the easy layman's example. You guys have all seen the cool movies in Vegas about the card counters that beat the house. That's what our AI is. It's designed to be a card counting machine for Vegas, to gently push the odds into your favor by seeing things and noticing things mathematically, which are hard to do visually and in the standard way. We're the only ones that have one. The only vendor in all of finance that has this, okay? And for the most part, all finance does is hide us from you. You know, the world of the mainstream media finance pushes you to CNBC, and again, you know, you get introduced to all the gurus who tell you to sign up for their 9,000 3-week trading courses. Guys, you don't need any of that garbage. Okay, we have it all built inside. I don't know, Brad, you know, the reason I want to put this out here, right, is because I'm trying to demonstrate that, first of all, one, there's nothing like the US stock market when it comes to returns on investment. You're not going to get 400% increase in real estate in a month. Okay, just think about it. You're not going to get it in Bitcoin. You're not going to get it in anywhere else. This is it. And unlike some of the crazy stuff you can do with options, with the butterfly, condor, caterpillar, pig's tail, you know, this does not require that kind of fancy analysis and mathematics. You're just being given the signal, and then you have a choice: take it or not take it. But look, Brad, can you see my mouse?
Yep. Yeah, I can see it move.
All right, so this signal occurred. Notice that once it happened, right? On this one, it never saw that price again. So those are, I mean, that doesn't happen all the time, but it happened. And by the way, Brad, I believe, didn't this happen during our test drive?
I can't remember. It may have been a little before. I think one of them did. I don't think the first one did, but
I think it did. But Scott, when was our test drive? Do you remember? Anybody? Do it?
Just before Thanksgiving.
Right. So okay. So this one then.
yeah, I think it was that one.
All right. So the first one was before the test drive. Never saw that price again. Right around $1. But remember, we talk about the fact that we are not in this some sort of day trading only technology or anything like that. The idea is to get in and squeeze as much ROI as possible. So these are daily candles, days. These are all days right here, okay? So this was a signal. Next day. So if you didn't get it on this day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days later, is it that far away, Brad?
Yeah.
I mean, not yet. No, it was right around that same area, okay? You could have gotten into it. If you missed it here, you could have bought it here. You could have even bought it here and basically put in a stop at, what is this line right here, Brad?
That is our swing exit.
In other words, so why are we your replacement for the education and the guru and everything else? Because every single stock you see on Trade Ideas has a game plan built inside. You guys like how I can just do this with one slide? I don't need to overwhelm you with buttons and windows. I just want to show that. So every stock you pull up, and this one was a beautiful one, because it's in that genre of the therapeutic stocks that are running, and there's so many, and we'll show you more. And by the way, I haven't even shown you the good stuff yet.
Well, the beautiful thing here, Dan, like just the fact PTI, I'm sure most people probably haven't heard of that stock. And, you know, there are 20,000 stocks that are out there. How do you really know what to trade? Are you going to trade the same thing every day? Well, this is hunting out the stocks that really have potential movement in them.
So somebody in the webinar asked a great question: how to know that PTI will break up just like in the picture? Well, first of all, you're getting a signal that tells you that our statistical analysis AI engine is telling you that it will. Remember, see those buy buttons? They occur on our charts in real time. We didn't like put this in the for the webinar. This is the service. This is what you're buying, the premium part of the service.
And in reality, Dan, you're kind of showing this historical approach to PTI, but we have this intraday data as well. And this signal appears intraday on your chart, on your AI windows, letting you know what the plan is for that particular stock and trade.
Absolutely. But what I'm trying to say simply is that while as it happens in real life, you can never know, what we are going to show you is the risk management technique to keep you in. Now, how do you stay in? That's the question. And James asked the right question. James, are you new? I can just interrupt, talk to our people. Talk to me, James. Brad, James not talking to me.
That's all right.
All right, all good though. I don't know if James is a customer or not. He's asking the right question. But notice, for all of you, for all the Jameses that are asking, well, how do you know? You don't know. You have to be prepared for the mistake. Okay, how are you prepared for the mistake? This line right here. You set a stop at this line right here. The swing exit. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but let me show you something else. So again, you missed it here, you got it here. And once again, even after this amazing move with big volume, right, Brad? What happened to this signal? It never saw that again. So at like 160, once again, and this looked like it was part of the test drive, it never saw it again. And you can see, like, this is a great thing, but it's not about cherry picking the beautiful ones. We're trying to show you the potential, okay? The next day, after this signal, you got another signal, and this, James, is the example of what happens when you get it. It's already a little bit extended, because I mean, look, from 1 to 2.5 or 2 3/4 is over 100%, right, Brad?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you're probably thinking, wow, it's a little toppy here. It just ran 100%.
Correct. But what happened? You had a day pullback, and remember, we're talking about swing trading. 1, 2, then like here you are, you're right back at it, and then we just explode higher. So ladies and gentlemen, the reason I'm showing you this is what it's all about. This is what you're looking to find, and we are the bringers of this to you, and no other vendor will do this. There is none. Zero, Zippo, Zilcho. This is what our premium AI product is about. This is why we're on the Inc. 5000 fastest growing privately held companies in the United States. This is what separates us from everybody else. But I'm about to blow your minds, because this, Brad, do you like my singing?
Yeah, I can tell you're happy today.
Well, I'm pumped, because this is not even the good stuff. Okay, Robert, you're on the right track. Steve, you're on the right track. Hold on. Are you guys ready for it to get good? Who is ready for the good stuff? All right, let me, so we're in a PowerPoint presentation. I'm gonna hit escape. I'm gonna minimize the PowerPoint, and I'm gonna show you the real reason you're here. And again, I just wanna emphasize, please be careful with your wrists and wallets, okay? All right, so quick, there's many of you who are totally new, so I'm going to give you some ideas of what you're seeing, and just a quick summary. So this is the product in action, okay? And you're on, Brad, you know, I like to interact with you so that you're not bored and stuff like that. So what is this thing, what is it over here on the left-hand side of Trade Ideas?
So that is what we call our channel bar. And our channel bar is like what we consider our remote control to the market, really the remote control to Trade Ideas windows. We've created all these different workspaces and layouts and put them in these different channels. So one, you can get started right away. You don't need to know how to configure this stuff, although it's all configurable. We've created these different themes for you, whether it's biotech or stocks with earnings, all these different ways to look at our data.
It's basically the Netflix of the stock market, only one of its kind. And there's some, and the channel that you're watching, this one, is called the Omni AI channel. In other words, we split our AI into 3 different segments based on, and again, we kept on wrestling with the fact if we really do or don't need to, do that. But for kind of breaking things down, we have the AI, it's almost like, imagine football. You've got a running back, you got a receiver, and you got a kicker, right, Brad? I mean, I'm kind of trying to throw it out there into something that people, they're all football players, but they play different positions. So we have 3 different AIs, 3 different ways that you count cards, 3 different ways that you assess risk, but this channel lets you see all of the trades. So first thing to note, long trades and short trades. Okay, does everybody understand? So during the day, these are all of the calls that the software has done. I'm going to expand it out just a little bit here. So this is the totality of the calls made by the AI today. Okay, different stocks, different prices. Why is it picking these stocks? Well, it's picking them because there's something going on mathematically and statistically that's telling you that this is the stuff that has the most potential according to the data. Is it a future time traveling stock picking magic guru system? No, because those don't exist. We're doing the best that is literally possible with mathematics and analysis, because again, once you're in the trade, all sorts of new things happen, like you have to manage the risk. Nobody can know exactly just lying to you, but with previous acquisition or distribution behavior. I think that's the best way to describe it. And we go in both directions. So you're not just stuck buying. If the market was getting destroyed, what would you be doing? Shorting. Okay, and here is a short trade. Okay, and let me show you, I'm going to kind of expand this out today so you can see, and I'm going to, So Brad, here's a stock that was, what's it called? United Natural Foods Inc., UNFI. The short signal was right here at 850 breakdown. And I mean, Brad, you talk to me, describe to me what you see here. Is it not like
there's a lot of, but really it identified this breakdown like Dan said. But if you look more specifically into this stock, what was happening is there was tremendous volume on this breakdown. But how do you really know there's tremendous volume? When you look at our single stock window, it's giving you that relative volume, which is a custom indicator to trade ideas, which is a ratio. So that just means it's doing 7.9 times its normal volume, which is super significant. That's just one of the factors and variables that this AI looks at. It looks at all this market data, but it looks at some of the create that's unique to our software. So when doing the analysis, when you know to get into it, and it keeps an open profit as you're going. And Dan has his system set up to hypothesize trading 100 shares with every signal, but you can do a lot of different things that are custom to the way that you trade. You can set it up to trade, a dollar amount, or you can set it up to trade a certain risk amount, so you're not risking any more than a certain dollar value in a trade. But it's really giving you that trading plan for you.
Well, that's exactly right. The trading plan is built in. And James, to something that you asked an important question, I want to reiterate it. James said, well, how do you know it's going to go down or go up, like as in the case of PTI, and you're in it? Well, you don't. So you act as if you're going to make the mistake. So what is this right here? Do you guys see this? This is an automatically generated stop signal. In other words, if this stock had turned around and then gone against you, what would have happened, Brad?
Well, you would have been stopped out. And you can see on the far right column on that bottom left window, well, yeah, you see the stop, but we have all these reasons why you've exited out in the short term of these strategies here, these trades, and it'll let you know if you've been stopped out.
So let's take a look at, so notice right here, we have exit reasons, different reasons. So stops get hit. So Brad, let's take a look at that. So what happens? I mean, I love it. So you can show that there's, we do not pretend that you only make the right choice. So here you have a stock. Okay, and let me, do you see right here, it looked like we were breaking down according to the numbers, to the statistics. The software, based on this volume and everything else, and by the way, and it still might break down, you never know, so keep an eye on that and we'll tell you how to do that. But software thought it was going to go down, but it didn't happen today for whatever reason. Look what happened. It put in the stop, so you entered at 46.91. Stop got hit at 47.30, and that's it. That's your safety valve. Okay, the decisions are being made for you through statistical analysis to say, hey, you don't have to sit there and be the buy and hold hoper, okay? You're not going to be sitting there just praying and wishing that this thing turned around for you. You're going to act according to risk. And by the way, guys, I mean, we're almost halfway through. I haven't even shown you the good stuff. I like to tease, Brad. I'm teasing. Okay.
Well, and this AI, these signals today and the performance that we saw, sum total of all of these added together for a moderate profit of 18.9%. That means if you add up every one of these signals, that's what the percentage would have been. It's like that almost every day. I mean, for the last week and a half, 2 weeks, it's really provided these types of incredibly crazy returns.
So here's another example, Brad, and again, this is to make sure you guys know that we're not trying to pretend or preach that everything's going to work. What we've got is a working plan, not everything working. Your plan is to act, but be prepared for the mistake. This is what this looks like. Once again, what did the software do here? Let me explain this. Notice that the software is thinking it's going to go. Why, Brad? Because, well, first of all, these stocks have been running, right? The therapeutic stocks, that's what that PTI that I showed you. It's in play. Things are happening. But today, for whatever reason, most likely because of the argument, Brad, you and I had about the fact that the relative volume should be a little higher on these, this buy signal did not work. Okay. We thought it would, but what happened when it went below our stop loss? Boom, you're out, you're done. You don't need to worry about it because you've taken the proper risk metrics. So once again, notice, by the way, if you wanted to hold it a long time, or meaning like really hold it to maintain the uptrend, what do you see here? Your swing exit. Your game plan's there for you, whether you're a short-term holder or a long-term holder. We're trying to get you through the day, but we're also preparing you for the long term. Who else does that? Nobody. Okay, Brad, so now that we're halfway in, I'm going to do just a little quick. Okay, are you guys ready to move fast to the good stuff? Because again, we're getting ready to get into the wallet angler part of the presentation. So first of all, rewinding the fact that the channel bar allows you to see and do many things. Okay, ready to run. Just another channel that's showing you things that look like they're ready to run. Pre-set up, nothing for you to do. Here's a buy signal, and again, from the swing point of view, Brad, again, notice what we talked about. Is this really that much worse? I mean, all you did in this particular case is you just didn't have that instant gratification. You have to work for it a little bit, which, by the way, that's what has to happen in the stock market. Look, you bought. No. Might have even had to try it twice, but look at this. This is what the software hunts. Brad, powerful. Do you understand why we created this channel? And it's called Ready to Run. Ready to Run, by the way, doesn't mean it's running now. Who made that name? Let's moving right along. Account builder. Once again, we know what you guys are up to. You want to build your account, okay? These are the stocks so Tonix Pharmaceuticals Holdings, up 34 cents, 37% on 2 million. Okay, let's just, Brad, we're trying to show people things they haven't seen before, right? First of all, this thing right here was $41 not too long ago, okay? Let's just set up a little alert that says if it goes above 135, we are in go time. So all I did was I right-clicked. I'm going to show you right-click, create price alert. So you can do that in any stock. And here I am. I've got this little price alert now. I can move it up. Yeah, I can change it to go like right here. Because again, we're looking for I want to be in the 40-point move. I'm not that concerned about the dollar, right? But you can really do whatever you like right here. Do you guys see how that works? Okay, so every single thing you can set up. But now that I'm showing you, you've seen the channel bar, you've seen like our different Netflix, you see that the AI, by the way, you can see what it performs, what it's doing. Notice every single stock has a potential for you to heart it. Okay, when you heart something, it goes into a custom channel of all things that you liked. Okay, so these are all the things that I have been liking. So you can kind of see what Dan's doing. And with this, okay, I'm going to start introducing you the feature that you will never see anywhere else but at Trade Ideas, and why it's so critical. So Brad, are we ready? Okay.
Let's do it.
I think we are. So first of all, ladies and gentlemen, know that we have simulated trading for every subscription. In other words, you're not going to be just looking at this stuff. You can right click and you can trade it in simulation mode, so you can practice the proper way, like professionals practice on the golf driving range, like surgeons practice on a cadaver. So you can work on the feel of working with the data with real feedback. But the most critical part of this, and it's the same stuff whether you're trading live or you're trading in simulation mode, because it's called Brokerage Plus. It's our same platform. But watch what I'm doing here. So do you guys see that I have bought this at what price? At $1.26. Does everybody see that? I'll make sure. Don't anybody answer all at once.
I see it.
Well, that's important, Brad. Okay, thank you, Dan. So do you see that I have a stop here at $1.14? And what do you see right here that you don't see anywhere else? Just hovering over it. I want one of our users to tell me. Do you guys see what this number is right here? Very good, Dan. See, a man after my own name. So we are telling you on the stop, what is your risk if your stop gets hit? And watch what happens. What if I move the stop a little bit? Oh, it adjusts. So you can now visually see what is the consequences of you. And by the way, when you move these stops, it adjusts your orders, whether it's real life money or simulated money. So I bought here $1,000 worth. So I almost have 1,000 shares, or like 700, whatever, because it's $1,000 worth, right? At 126. And as I adjust my stop, it's telling me what my risk is. So now I'm very close to the stop. Now I've just moved away 97 cents, $97. Do you guys see the power of this? Okay, now I'm going to show you guys, again, this is me, and I continue, as a professional investor, I myself interact with the software to practice via simulated trading. Okay, so here we have APTO, an amazing signal from the AI, from the strategy called Breakout Long. I mean, just again, showing you that we're the best at what we do. We're like Wolverine, Brad. Okay, but I didn't catch that signal then. I bought it today at 418 in simulated mode, and I'll show you what the simulation platform looks like. You're going to see all of that. It's wonderful, great stuff. But notice I have a stop in, so I know that if my stop gets hit, what's going to happen? I'm going to lose $32. Does everybody see that? This is the key, because you know you haven't seen that anywhere else. So notice we have a channel. Does everybody see this channel right here? Shall we play a game? That ages us a little bit, doesn't it, Brad?
Well, you would have to know war games to bring in the reference, right?
Very, very true. Okay, so I'm going to put in this channel, and I'm going to bring in our simulated trade environment called Brokerage Plus. Okay, does everybody see it? So this is me, Brokerage Plus, connected to Trade Ideas simulated trading. Even a professional like myself, I am working all the time to improve my technique. What you're seeing here is Tiger Woods at the range. Tiger does not practice by only playing tournaments. He plays tournaments to compete and make money, but to work on his game, what does Tiger do, Brad? He goes to the range. Thank you, Brad. Okay, so let me show you what you do. Notice we have a column here called the downside column. Does everybody see that? That's something else you're not going to see anywhere else. And do not be like, if you're a little worried that this might be like, oh my God, there's so many things. Again, all this is set up for you, okay? It's all set up for you. All this allows me to do is to practice stuff that I otherwise maybe would not be in as many positions, right? Because I'm in simulation mode and I'm working the P&L. That's what professional investors do. They don't trade things like, they don't fall in love with the stock. You're working your P&L. And as a result, by working my P&L, I am able to see, take a look. So here's my trade in ABEO, where I bought at $3.17, 313 shares, because I'm doing the $1,000 per trade. And look, I've locked in $159. Now I can come in here and move this up to like right here and lock in 222. Do you guys see how critical this is? So you can basically go to your downside column, you can sort on it, okay? And you can say to yourself, wow, so Brad, notice here I have a stop loss that's below my entry. Just, I mean, where it is, because I was doing a lot of things, working a lot of stuff, I can go quickly and say, all right, let me make sure I don't turn this winner into a loser. Done, it's over. Now that means, could you still like get out of that and have it go? Yes, and I'm going to show you that, by the way, in another beautiful trade that I had that I took my profits in, and that's a very important thing. But once again, I want you to know that you're seeing something here that you have not seen before, which is the ability to drag your stops and seeing the consequence of your stop monetarily. Okay.
It also lets you know if you've really oversized yourself. You know, if that stop is so far away, you know, where it's a real possibility that it could get hit, and that number, that dollar value is too great. It just means you have too many shares of it.
So let me really quickly explain why you're seeing minus 78 on the downside, but up 222, or, you know, this is the daily 251, because basically it's saying if you go from here to here, you're going to risk $78. So to lock in your 222, you're risking 78. So I'm constantly working on this downside column all throughout the day, just managing my risk. To answer the other questions, like that's what it's about. It's about risk management, and no other software that I'm aware of gives you this kind of feedback. None, zero, zippo, zilch, watch your risk.
Well, and not to mention, Dan, over on Brokerage Plus, that P&L chart that we have, it really does serve a very valid purpose, you know, for your portfolio. So you can see through the course of the day, how is your portfolio doing? How's the profitability of your account based on the transactions that are occurring, or just the market activity?
That's it. So Brad, in my, and again, this is today's P&L. This is my overall P&L on the open positions, okay? So you're seeing a lot of different things. What is the profit factor, Brad, so you can tell people what that means?
Yeah, so the profit factor is the sum total of all your winning trades over the sum total of all your losing trades. So if you made 2,000 and lost 1,000, that's a 2 over 1, so that'd be a profit factor of 2.
So what this is, so when you see a profit factor of 3.30, what is that telling you?
It's a solid profit factor. It means it's really good. It means your winners are really 3 times that of your losers.
That means I'm managing my risk well for this portfolio. And that's what you want to be shooting for. You want to go for this feedback, ladies and gentlemen, where the system is providing you that real-time feedback, which nobody else is doing in all finance, because they don't want you trading in reality, about are you doing good or are you doing bad? This is what it takes to win the right way. So of course you can sort everything. So I can sort by what am I up the most in, right? AUPH. Again, by the way, by the way. Notice, Brad, am I only day trading?
No, you're really doing a combination of both. And And Brokerage Plus really does allow you to find where your sweet spot is.
Right, so here I am from the 6th. So again, notice that through our software, you're able to experiment and figure out what's working best for you. Let me show you as so notice this 339 minus, okay? So that relates to the fact that I cut my losers. Okay, so when I got rid of all of my trades today, and I'm going to show you like how awesome, again, one of them was and what it means to when you actually get stopped out of things. So look at this total P&L column, okay, and LMPX. So here's an example of, I bought this on, let's see, when did I buy it?
Well, that's because you probably went in and out of it today.
Oh,
you
yeah, that's right. Added to it. But here, I bought it at $5.49 and exited today at whatever this price was. Let's take a look. At $15.11. Okay. So think about that. Right? And I did that all because I was able to see how much I'm locking in through our stop losses. And by the way, SS, I'm going to get into the preferred brokerage rates and all that good stuff. But I'm just showing you guys that we are demonstrating how to do it. And I'm able to do this by being able to practice technique in simulation mode with completely real-time data to gain the confidence to do what I'm doing now with the real data. There's only one way to do it. Where else can you and would you be able to practice like this? Nowhere else. Okay, so this is what, again, I'm doing. I'm able to see my P&Ls. Wow, Brad, look at this one I caught today.
A little bit of after hours action there, huh?
And this is what it's about, by the way. God, I like it when I do things like this and I can demonstrate. I didn't even know.
Well, no, but check it out. Look, let's be real. COPX, right? This is what we're talking about. What's the relative volume? It's such a critical data point that when you've got something that has some action on it, something that's moving and it's doing it on that type of volume, 22 times normal, it's going to have some lingering effect.
Right. So Ashraf asked the question, how did I choose LMPX? Well, LMPX came up. It was an IPO, and I bought it on, I believe it was, I guess, yesterday, maybe, or no, the day before, or maybe it was even, I think it was on the 6th is when I bought it, okay? I just try things, and I know that because I have risk built in other words, because my stops are instantly set, I'm in the LMPX types of trades, just like, by the way, that look at this move after hours. That is an LMPX type of move to an extent, right? Maybe not as big of a percentage, but nice points. And I'm in it because I had the stop in. Automatically. Our software does this automatically. Okay? So you're going to be you're going to be presented with these opportunities that you're otherwise not going to see anywhere else.
I think they were hollering about that stock also in the room, the other day. And that's the thing, when you've got a trading community that's using trade ideas and spotting these things, when stuff with volume comes up, they talk about it. And yeah, I'm sure Barry was chatting about that too.
Right. And so we want to look at, we're showing you the winners, but I don't want to be simply just cherry picking. Let's look at the losers. Okay. So here's the thing. It's not about perfection, because it cannot be about perfection. Look, some of these, and this would have been a great one, obviously, at $1, right? But you're still in this world where I tried it here thinking that it might continue, but it ended up going down. So this one did not work out. Well,
that's par for the course. You can't get caught up in the fact that you're going to make every decision correctly. It's just never going to happen that way.
No, but let me show you what happened here. So this is where I bought, right, on kind of like a pullback. automatically had my stop set in. It got stopped out. It actually traded back there again, but then it just continued. You know?
And another thing, Dan, do me a favor, change your all types to just your open positions, because it's one of the things that I think you do so well, and that's, you know, you manage your risk and you don't take any really big losers, and that's critical. And you can see that on your downside column right there. You've got a value in every one of those positions, and that means that you have a stop in place, and you can see exactly how much you're risking with those stop values. That's critical.
Right, and what I try to do is, very simply, and you've heard this not only from me, but from many good investors, is I try to stay in my winners. So this is what, hold on a second, let me just expand this out. So as you saw when I had my all trades, right, I showed you the things that I got out of, but here I'm staying in my winners and I'm maintaining, so my only real kind of, I mean, and this, I don't even think of it as that big of a loser, $73. Let me just switch it to here, focus on right there. So you can see where I'm at. So I bought this here, okay? It's kind of one of these therapeutic companies. Again, these things are ones that can go up 100, 200% in a day, okay? Relative volume of 2, so there's some action in it, but I have the stop in, okay? And I can move it down a little bit, you know, adjust it some. Make it so that I can give myself, you know, more room, so it has to really break down. But the idea here is I can make these kinds of risks because I can see them. Okay, so Brad, let's talk about Brokerage Plus and who we are connecting to. Ladies and gentlemen, right now we connect to IB, Interactive Brokerage, for your actual real trading. We are very soon going to be connecting to E-Trade for their, through our API for their zero commission trading, I believe. So you will be able to zero commission trade this from what I've known. I mean, again, I'm just giving you guys this from what I understand. E-Trade will allow E-Trade customers to use Brokerage Plus and trade on zero commissions. We're working with TradeStation, and in terms of Thinkorswim, they're so dang big. And now that Schwab bought TD Ameritrade, it's like yelling at somebody who's on the top of the Empire State Building and you're on the bottom, you know, on the floor of the New York City. They can't hear us. And they're so big. So right now for brokerage, real live trading, it's IB, but very soon E-Trade and TradeStation.
Yeah, and we're also going to be working with the small exchange, which is going to bring a new type of instrument to our expertise, and that's going to be trading futures in a very stock-like manner. So
right. So Julio Malvito asked, "Is this real life or simulated?" And it's both. So if you have an account at IB, you can trade this with real live money exactly the same way you see it. In fact, I can do both. So look, see, connect live or Trade Ideas simulated trading. Either way. And soon there will be a drop down for multiple brokerage options. E-Trade, TradeStation, probably the first. Okay. So does that answer you guys' questions? Fidelity, there's no plan yet because again, they're just so big, they don't care about us and possibly about you. If somebody told Fidelity, hey guys, I need this Trade Ideas stuff, and they listen, then maybe they would do something. But we aren't on their radar because these gigantic firms are so big. Like, again, it takes them forever to make a decision. E-Trade, I think the reason that we can actually do something with them is because they have been a licensee of ours for 10 years. So we've been working with them for a very long time. We have not asked Saxo Bank, Ashraf, but if you know them, ask them. I mean, we think that this is, especially with what we're showing you with this stop loss automation, okay? This is the must-have tool right now for anybody and everybody. When you guys see this, how do you go back to something that doesn't have this? The P&L graph, this feedback, but really specifically, okay? Specifically speaking, how do you go back to something like that doesn't have this. No, it just changes from a loser to a winner. Why? Because I know. See, most people just, they don't even know because they don't have the ability to see it. They may put stop losses in, but they don't know what happens if their stop losses get hit.
Hey, Dan, maybe you can show the right-click order and kind of the, so maybe just the right-click interface for placing an order on any of the windows that we have, and then maybe how you set that up.
Right. So here I am, trade Cybex. And this is completely customizable by you, but I have these two orders because I keep it simple, especially for demonstrations. Buy using 1,000 at market just to get in, and it can be a limit. It can be anything you want. You can have multiple. You can have 3 buy options. Okay. And very soon you're going to see buttons where you'll just be able to drop your buy order in, and with a stop at the lows. So instantly you get.
Right. You know, Ness asked a question, so I thought it might be helpful for him if you go to the Strategies tab on your Brokerage Plus and just do a right click on one of the orders so we can show him. The one thing he was curious about, or she, I'm not sure, was the position sizing and how you can do it based upon a risk amount or based on a dollar value or a share quantity.
So would you like me to edit this or
add right click, edit.
Okay, edit trading strategy. So here I have, notice it's strategy, and you can do some things here, right? Long entry time, so I can get in anytime, order details.
Yeah, so right here, this is the part that you can be very specific on how you want to be sized as you're entering these positions, or how you even want to approach the market.
So I just switched from $1,000 to 1,000 shares, but you can do something even cooler where you say, okay, I don't want to lose more than, let's say, $100. So it's going to share size you appropriately with the stop loss. So there's so many cool things that you can do, you know, and all of this is customizable by you. Just that we don't like to get into the uber nitty gritty of it on these Q&As, because we have also a complete education curriculum that takes you from the I don't know anything to, you know, the 101, the 201, and then eventually, I mean, there's even scripting in this that you can write some of your own formulas. Guys, we have very advanced users that can do things that take it to another level. It's just that we don't want to intimidate anybody and think that you have to do that. We're trying to make things easy for you. Get in, manage your risk visually. See, this stock will not go into a loser. Why? Because I know I've locked in $30. This is it. This is the key. You can take everything that you're down in, right, and make sure. So on this one, think about this, right? Why wouldn't I put it like right here? Well, because I'm so close to the stop, I'm not really letting it do anything, right? So I want to give it some room here. But if I am up in it, like I am, like in these, right, I move it to locking in the profit. This is the differentiator. This is what you're not going to see and have not seen anywhere else. We know this because we look at our competitors. But once you see this, how do you go back? I don't know. That's why I'm glad I'm using my own software, Brett. We're basically at the end. The thing that I wanted to showcase is we have the world's only investor-focused AI. The only one. No guru, no person, completely automated, computer-based buy and sell signals. You can follow them automatically or manually, and you can visually adjust your stops and know your consequences. Mic drop, that's all you need to succeed. The last thing, the very last thing, let me get rid of this chart. Okay, so of course everybody has been brainwashed. I mean, told.
Just familiar, how about that?
You know, everyone loves the apple, okay? And this is the last thing I want to end on and why we have the education built inside. Okay? So notice, while our software is not an apple, it assumes on every print when you look at a stop that you're about to get into it. And here you have your smart stop right here. So this is based on the volatility of Apple and how it moves to, this is what you need to give it to kind of make sure you're not just randomly being pushed in and out of the stock. So look at Netflix. Okay, let me zoom in. Notice smart stop profit target, okay, based on where you are here and maybe taking some off the table. Game plan for every stock, okay? Google, smart stop, profit target. Amazon, doesn't matter what it is, you get everything. Here it is, smart stop, profit target, okay? SS, the education material, if you go to our website, trade-ideas.com, you will see all of that. It's all there. You can sign up for classes. As soon as you're a subscriber, you get the full access of all of our great educators that are internal. We don't outsource this stuff. These are our guys that conduct, it's like a college, you know, doctorate/fun degree. By the way, look at that P&L. It keeps getting better and better, Brad. So whatever it was that was moving after hours, looks like it's continuing to move. Yeah, nice little movement there. Lock in a little bit more profit. Just keep it right there. Brian, we're still working with the E-Trade stuff, not 100% sure yet on the ETA because they're giving us their API. We're still analyzing all of that, but it's definitely happening soon. First quarter. But can I tell everybody, whoever's just jonesing to jump right in and, you know, start shooting at real stocks, forget about it. If you haven't done this on this technology, practice with our simulator. This is what it's for. Practice, 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 practice. Think about how much Trade Ideas costs at the most premium part of our service, right? Without any discounts, it costs $2,200 a year. Medical school costs $50,000. Law school costs $50,000. Guys, practice. You don't need to wait. Practice, practice, practice. This is what the pros do. This is the difference between the amateurs and the pros. The amateurs want instant gratification. They want to get you want to get signed up for the guru course and start making the guru money, except you're not the guru. Well, I've said this with Brad hundreds of times at other Q&As. We're not as good as this one because Brad, this is the best Q&A we've ever done.
I mean, it's going to be tough to outdo it.
It is going to be tough to outdo it. But we've said this over and over again. You're going to go play golf with Tiger Woods. All you're going to do is get embarrassed. Why? Because he's going to hit shots you'll never be able to hit. And that's the problem with guru-style trading. Okay? You can't imitate that stuff. Because whoever is the guru, he's got the feel. You can't give feel. Feel comes from practice. This is what the simulator's for. And our simulator works on any subscription level. Premium, basic, it does not matter. These tools that you see here that I'm showing you with the stops and the numbers, they will exist on every level. This is the game changer. This is the game changer. Once you have seen this, you can't go back. Okay? It's like HD versus the 1950s TV. You're an HD kid. This is what it's like. So let me just jump real quick back to the presentation, finish up because we're grateful for the time that you guys have spent with us. Let me just do a quick, dang it, I always do the same thing. Present. Okay, so we showed you the PTI. So all of our statistical analysis is done through this thing called the odds maker, which is what we have. It's a technology that we invented, and you don't need to worry about it, although you can access it through the premium service and make your own strategies and custom trade your own stuff. But this is what it's based on, but we do it all in the lab for you. These are all the different windows that make up the software. And again, all of this stuff, you learn how to use it, but the channels already have it all embedded. It's like, you know, imagine most software products nowadays in finance is like Netflix, but you have to make your own shows. We're not like that. You got the channels. It's already all done for you. Okay. This is what our software, we're a subscription-based service, obviously, and we don't have any venture capital, so we require you to be our subscriber to use it. And this is what it costs on a daily basis, but of course you pay monthly or yearly. And for those of you who are not subscribers yet, and you should all be, we have a Holly season, all caps, HOLLY season, 15% off your first month or a year off of Trade Ideas. ladies and gentlemen, I can't describe to you this value because it's unheard of to have what I've just showed you for $6.20 a day. I mean, it's almost a crime against ourselves. Brad, you're going to be punished.
I don't know how to reply.
You should. The gentleman that's been helping answer the questions is Barry Anderson. And Barry conducts our live trading room. This is an example of the room and the dashboard. And he shows you things. There's a whole community of traders that interact with one another. And this is a great way to get started. And by the way, this picture, which we need to update, Barry has improved this to make it much simpler and easier to use. But again, it's a community, it's a meritocracy. And you can see that lots of people are using trade ideas. Once again, this is why we are one of the fastest growing privately held companies in the United States. Brad, do you want to answer the futures question?
Yeah, what's the question here? Is this practical for futures trading? Well,
Yeah.
you know, when we bring in the small exchange, that data is going to be, yes, it'll be very, very practical for that. For right now, I don't know how you would use it for futures trading.
Yeah. Guys, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, we try to do promotions and things like this, but I will say honestly, I mean, if it's the discount that's keeping you away from trade ideas, then trading in general might not be right for you. You've got to know you want this. And the stuff I've shown you is simply stuff you're not going to see anywhere else. And you know that this is true because, well, I'm sure you've seen other products. And there's not like there's terrible products out there. There's TC2000 and TradeStation, whatever. But we're the best at what we do. We're built out of adamantium and we have healing factor. We do lots of education. As I said, all throughout the week, you get emails on classes that are from the very basic to the middle to the advanced, and you can take this as advanced as you need to take it. It's kind of like Adobe Photoshop or Microsoft Word or Excel. You can do very advanced stuff, but it can also be super basic. Okay, it's up to you. But the idea is that we brought all the power to the front. It's like, do you really need to know how your Tesla works on the auto driver on the highway? No, but you just let it do its thing. That's what we do. We're your Tesla auto driver on the highway. We have a podcast on Fridays, so please search for that on your podcast app. And lots of information to get you started. Again, if you need any help, but the best help, honestly, okay, can I just say this, is the simulated trading. There's nothing better than the full-on real-life data simulation with trading impact the way we show you. And again, nobody else is doing that. You guys know that. Okay, nobody else is doing what we do. So sign up, start practicing, and hone your skills so that then you can take what you've learned on the range and take it to the golf course. Okay, we're very easy to get a hold of, very active on social media, at Trade Ideas, at QuantBot, at Today Trader. Please like us on Facebook, and you can call us or shoot us an email if you have any questions. But I think you should have been able to see and understand today that what you've seen today, you can't go back, okay? You can try to. I mean, look at your positions and go, how come I don't know what I'm going to lose if I'm getting stopped out? That's the thing you have to ask yourself, okay? So again, thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time. Scott, thank you. And I think we're all good.
Yeah, sounds good. Stay tuned tomorrow for an email with a link to the replay of the podcast. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.